We're live, folks.
The court's consistent rulings.
The show trial, because that's exactly what it is. It's nonsense. Theater, friends, theater. We're going to show you.
On June 18th, it's just really long ago, we appeared before this
Hello, everybody.
For arguments on what became the defendant's final motions to this court. Motion.
Brian KOHBERGER loves it, my friend. He's an informant for the cops, the feds. It's so obvious. He wanted to enroll law enforcement, right?
And the motion.
He's the part of the show trial, folks. Ann Taylor, she's in on it too, my friends, in my opinion. And the defense attorney, they know what happened. It's the show trial, everyone. The students are alive and well. They're protected under the WITSEC program, as I've said on my videos, right?
And continue with what we've been working on.
This is all theater, my friends. They're treating you like you're a moron. I hate to use that word. I don't mean to use the word retarded in a bad way, folks, but that's exactly what they're treating you. Don't buy into this nonsense. All theater, my friends.
We were approached by the defense.
This guy was in Puerto Rico, I can almost guarantee you. Remember, he had a nice tan, everybody was talking about, right? Nice haircut. And then they fly him back in. That's how it works, everyone. He's not sitting rotting in a jail cell. It's all pre-organized, right, everyone? It's pre-planned. That's right. As if Brian KOHBERGER could stab 4 healthy people to death, right? And why would you do it? There's no motive. Like, this is ludicrous. But people buy into some of it. Some people buy into this nonsense. I know a lot of you don't.
Became a reality.
They know. The defense knows and the prosecution knows he's an informant for the cops.
To all the families.
He's a federal agent, my friends, in other words, really, in my opinion. Come on.
We met with representatives.
Guy even looks like a Fed.
Virtual meetings with representatives of all the families. And we talked about the status of the case.
What a
the upcoming trial.
Absolute joke.
Trial. And we also.
Thompson's in on it. The judge knows by now, I'm sure, that Brian KOHBERGER's likely an informant for the cops. The judge knows that how could one individual leave just skin cells on a knife sheath where you're stabbing people in a hazmat suit or a Dickie suit? Does that make any sense, my friends? Right? No, it doesn't. Because it didn't happen. There was no crime scene, in my opinion, folks. No crime scene at all. There's no evidence of the bodies being removed, as I talk about in my videos, right? No pretrial evidence of the bodies, no pretrial autopsy, nothing. It's a joke.
And they were candid.
Oh, we're going thoughts and feelings now. I'll be right back, my friends. Continue, watch, and listen, please. Can't wait to read your comments.
Recognize and acknowledge that there was a difference of opinion among representatives of the different families. We understand that. One of the challenges of this case, one of the unique things about this case is we have multiple victims, each unique unto themselves, their families and friends unique unto themselves, and all of them entitled to their opinions, all of them entitled to their thoughts.
Excuse me, no victims, my friend. That's horseshit. It's a complete lie, and there's never been proof that there's any victims, by the way. They were extracted, my friends. Yes, they were targeted by somebody, maybe by gangbangers, but there was no hit carried out, my friends. The U.S. Marshals, we knew had surveillance, all over the house. Never forget that. Even Steve G admitted that, who I normally don't trust, but I believe him when he said that.
And that would be for the defendant to plead guilty straight up to all charges. There would be no bargaining about counts. There would be no bargaining about reduced sentences. And so we made the proposal to the defense that if the defendant was willing to plead guilty up front to all 5 counts as charged and waive appeal of the court's myriad decisions during the past 2.5+ years on all of his motions that would have consumed years, if not decades, of time in the future. By the end of the weekend, we were notified that the defendant was prepared to plead guilty as charged. and factually acknowledge his responsibility.
Excuse me, my friends, I'm trying to eat lunch. He's pleading guilty because they got to shut this down, right? They know a lot of you sleuths are telling the truth of what's really happening, or you're trying to, right?
Confidential.
We're trying to.
And as Your Honor noted.
And Brian Kohlberg, we know, could not have done this. This is just show trial, my friends. Just show trial. Legally, they can do all this.
Decided not to plead guilty. It would have been devastating to our jury pool.
You don't think he knows?
Public
Josh, whatever his name is it Josh Hershowitz?
By either
Can't even
party
remember his name.
to a plea resolution. And protecting the prospective integrity of the trial after so many years was paramount.
Thompson thinks he's a great actor. Faye, what are you doing eating when you were alive? Oh, sorry, Faye. You're right,
We
sweetheart.
notified the victims' families.
I got to eat a pot pie in a moment,
We
too.
I recognize and acknowledge personally, and I respect the fact
This is all nonsense.
that of these fine, suffering people here, not everybody
So-
agreed with the decision you make.
It's a
I accept
complete
that.
psyop, my friend. Psychological operations. There's no evidence that a crime even took place. It was all staged, folks. That's the real evidence. It was staged. Anybody can look at that crime scene. And then you destroy the house,
So now,
right? I mean, come on.
it is time. for-
No blood mentioned on the 911 call. This Brian Kohlberger or any other perps, you're going to leave 2 roommates alive, folks. You're going to leave 2 roommates alive with a delayed 911 call for not just 1 or 2 hours, 8 hours.
By the
But because it was a federal operation, my friends, from day one. They staged this crime scene, in my opinion.
Perhaps have the Elmo police turn on.
The facts back it up. These guys are all lame actors, everyone. You don't have to believe it. The students are alive. You think the U.S. Marshals would not have done their job that night, folks, knowing that they had the house monitored, they had agents on the ground? Of course they went in, they would have taken those students out, folks. That's what these programs are for, like WITSEC, Federal Witness Protection Program in the United States. Hello.
And on count 2.
Oh my God, here we go.
that the court
Madison,
defendant-
by the way, Maddie just bought a house, folks. Christy G just blurted that out by us in a recent interview. Did you know that? I covered another few Bubbly Water showed you too, everyone. Maddie just bought a house, but they're not telling you this in the court hearings.
sentenced the
Absolute joke. What a hideous lie from these people, folks.
fixed life.
She's alive too. Again, all my opinions, but the facts back up the circumstantial evidence, my friends. It was a staged crime scene. There's no evidence to show that they were unalived. None.
The court sentenced the defendant to fixed life.
Fixed life. You think he's going to do fixed life in a jail cell, folks? I'm sure a lot of you that watch my videos on my channel, you know the answer to that, right? No, of course not. He's going to go out the back door like my friend Ellie, who we do amazing interviews together, told you. It's going to be like an Epstein. He'll disappear. They might even try to fake his death, right? But it won't. Brian will be gone on another assignment, my friends. This is the real reality of this
And
case.
the
Please
same
never
phrase,
forget.
these sentences, he ordered to run consecutively, back to back, not at the same
Boom,
time.
chicky, chicky, boom, boom, chicky, chicky.
Recognize and respect the unique individuality.
I'm not sure what that means. Boom, chicky, chicky.
Whose
From-
lives were taken.
From Zoografia. No, there were no lives taken, folks. There were no lives taken, and there's no evidence to show otherwise, right? No evidence of the body bags, of bodies coming out of the
And
house,
hopefully now,
no cop cars, ambulances, so many red
earlier
flags.
this morning, it is time to afford. the
Yes,
families,
Brian, he has to look
friends,
serious,
and
folks,
community,
right? He has to pay attention. He's supposed to be a
And the nation and the world.
serial murderer, quadruple unaliving. What a bunch of
We
nonsense.
can't undo, and we can never undo the horror.
Yeah, we got to keep
of what
listening to
occurred
Santa Claus now, right? With his nonsense.
November 13th,
Jeez.
2022.
Oh, you're happy.
at
Great.
122 King
Excellent.
Street in Moscow, Idaho. For a long time, the presiding district judge in Latah County was John Stegner, who eventually became a member.
This is a complete psyop, my friends. Thompson is hired to try to influence your attitudes, your behaviors,
Often,
your objective reasoning. Same in some ways, I believe, Ann Taylor, my friends, at defense. This was a complete show trial, complete psyop, folks. Again, the goal of a psyop is to affect your mindset, ultimately, you know, a target audience's mindset and actions, folks, without using direct force, okay? And again, to influence your behavior, attitudes, objective reasoning, etc. Yeah, I wonder how much he's getting paid exactly. Good question. I got to put my reading glass on. Good, great question, Faye. A hell of a lot. Let's put it that way.
On these innocent victims whose
innocent victims. This guy, they keep trying to put out this highly charged emotional narrative, my friends, but they got nothing to back it up. We've just been spoon-fed the hideous lie by FBI, CIA, and the feds that this was unaliving. They can fake deaths, everyone, in certain scenarios, right? When a confidential informant's been compromised. I talk about it extensively on my videos, everyone. I go through the law. It's all legal, my friends, and this is what the Idaho 4 is. It's a complete psyop, my friends. I'll be back.
That's what thugs do.
Twelfth, 2022, of the special family of 1122 King Road. And you can see all six of these dynamic, vibrant, loving, special, innocent faces taken together just across the street from their residence. And barely 12 hours before 4 of them would be brutally murdered in their sleep. They've been described consistently as being bright, caring, vivacious, with futures we can only imagine now.
Thompson's a piece of work, my friends. He has to know, in my opinion, the students are alive.
And they remain.
There's no evidence to say otherwise, folks. This is a complete staging nonsense.
I appreciate it.
We appreciate it. Put that emotionally high-charged narrative. You got to convince people that, well, we got no evidence, but we'll just say that they were brutally murdered, right? They didn't even have an open casket ceremony for any of the victims, my friends, the so-called victims, the beautiful students. Think about that. It's not just a coincidence.
And sentences the defendant to spend the rest of his life in prison. In other words, sentence the defendant to die.
Oh, yes, to die. What a bunch of nonsense. He'll be going out the back door, folks, to another country.
In the belly chains and leg irons.
He's an informant for the cops, my friends. This is complete show trial, man. I got to keep repeating that.
The Idaho Department of Correction. And the door will close behind him forever.
Forever.
That is the closure.
That's the
we
closure.
seek. That all of these people, these loving friends and family deserve.
Mr. Santa's trying to act, my friends. In my opinion, he's a bad actor. But some people buy into this. Oh my gosh. So crazy, folks. Does Brian look nervous to you folks? No, of course not. He's an informant, again, in my opinion, for the cops. He knows what's going to happen. He'll go to his next assignment, my friends. He's probably been paid. He has nothing to do with any crime. There was no crime that night, my friends. Okay? There was no crime.
All right, Mr. KOHBERGER, you have an opportunity to make a statement.
They have North American relocation services on the boxes, folks, right? A few YouTubers actually covered that. I did too, my friends. The parent company Serva, which has a Schedule 48 that moves confidential informants at times, and government officials, my friends, assets to the government. That was on the boxes, folks. Think about that.
All right,
The students are relocated, folks.
Start this morning by acknowledging and thanking. Those
I'll let
that
this
come
play out,
to
my friends. I gotta eat a meat pie, but I'll be back. Thanks for watching. Thanks for caring about this case, those of you that do. It's a wild, crazy, fascinating case, my friends, but it's not tragic like we've been told, in my opinion. Not at all.
Thank counsel for the professionalism that they've exhibited throughout this case. It's been my great honor to preside in this case and to help bring, to the extent possible, some resolution and hopefully justice to this case. During the quiet morning hours of November 13, 2022, a faceless coward breached the tranquility of 6 beautiful young people and senselessly slaughtered them. 4 of them. Who committed this unspeakable evil was unknown for several weeks, but due to the killer's incompetence and outstanding police, state, and federal law enforcement agencies, the person that slithered through that sliding glass door at 1122 King Road
Yeah, I'm gonna end it
now stands before the world and this court unmasked.
Anyway, thanks for watching, listening. Those of you that have so far,
This caused
the judge is going to go on probably for another 10, 15 minutes. But I got to go, my friends, unfortunately. But we'll talk about this sentencing hearing, I promise. We'll talk more about it. Thanks, everyone. It's just a show trial, my friends. Staging. Please never forget that. Greatest tragedy. There was no tragedy, folks. Oh, before we go, I just want to read this comment that came in. One
At
sec.
college, in a truck filled with moving boxes, had to bring them home in hearses lined with coffins. The loss this killer inflicted was not just the death of these people's children, siblings, grandchildren.
Valentina Dallas, you're the only honest, like blatantly honest now analysis of what's going on. I mean, people don't have discernment to understand how deep this gets. Exactly, Valentina. There's 13 families who run the world in FBI and CIA. Great comment, Valentina. Thanks, sweetheart. I agree with you for the most part. I really do. Got to go. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for joining me on this live. Sorry I can't keep going on, but we'll do more about this and hopefully an interview with Ellie about it, okay? So stay tuned for that, my friends, okay? Please. Thank you, everyone. Take care.
Their existence and purpose of being. And it has been stolen from these parents.